Welcome to a new episode from English Plus Podcast. Today, it's a word power episode. So that means we're going to talk about a topic and then we're going to discuss a couple of words in context so that you make sure you understand these words and you remember them so that you can use them later in your own conversations and writing. Well, today's topic is about the bone-chilling mystery of the SS Ourang Medan, ghosts at sea. Well, I know, it's kind of frightening, but don't worry. It's just a mystery that we still don't have an answer for, and it is about a ghost ship. Have you ever heard of a ship that sailed straight into a horror movie and never sailed back out? What if I told you there's a ghost story out there that makes even the bravest of pirates consider a day job on land? Now, today we dive into the eerie legend of the SS Ourang Medan. An event that makes you wonder, can a ship's log end with, and then everyone mysteriously died? So, what happened to this ill-fated ship? Were they sunk by supernatural forces, cursed by a pirate ghost, or simply too bad at reading the weather forecast? And what if I told you the entire story could be a hoax? Or even worse, the cover-up of a dangerous government secret? So strap in, my friends, because by the time we're done, you'll be wondering if the seas hold more mysteries than any haunted house ever could. The story of the SS Ourang Medan begins like any other ominous seafaring legend. Somewhere in the late 1940s, in the warm but potentially murderous waters of the Strait of Malacca, a distress call was picked up by two American vessels. The message was creepy enough to give even the bravest sailor second thoughts about answering. The message goes like this: all officers, including the captain, are dead, lying in the chart room and bridge, possibly whole crew dead. That alone is weird. But then, just as the vessels receiving the call were scrambling to respond, the radio operator transmitted one final bone-chilling message: I die. Well, I don't know about you, but if I'm working the Maritime emergency hotline that day, I'd be like, oh wow, let's send that one straight to voicemail. But no, rescue crews took the call seriously and off they went to locate the ship. When they finally reached the Ourang Medan, it wasn't a pretty sight. The ship was there, just drifting at sea, looking every bit like the kind of boat you'd only approach if you had a death wish, or a camera crew from one of those ghost hunting reality shows. The rescue team boarded, and what they found was nothing short of a nightmare. The entire crew lay dead, men sprawled out on their backs with their eyes wide open, frozen in expressions of pure terror. Some had their arms stretched out as if defending themselves from something no one could see. And the strangest part, no visible injuries, not a scratch. It was as death had tapped them on the shoulder, whispered something unspeakable, and just took them. And then, before anyone could make sense of what they were seeing, the ship decided to pull off the grand finale. Smoke started pouring out of the cargo hold. The rescue crew wisely decided, well, nope, and got the heck out of that ship. Moments later, the Ourang Medan exploded in a fiery blaze and sank beneath the waves, taking with it every scrap of evidence that could explain what had happened. Convenient, right? Almost too convenient. Now, here's where things get really interesting. No one knows for sure what caused the deaths. Some speculate the crew might have been exposed to a lethal cargo, maybe chemicals or nerve agents. Others think they might have suffocated from a release of carbon monoxide. But then you have the wilder theories, because no good mystery can survive without at least one paranormal hypothesis. Some say the Ourang Medan fell victim to a ghostly attack. Maybe some ancient sea spirits weren't too pleased with them passing through. Or maybe the Flying Dutchman needed some new recruits, who knows? But then there's the possibility that this story never happened. Yes, folks, welcome to the part where we realize we might have spent the last few minutes talking about a maritime version of the Blair Witch Project. The Ourang Medan story first appeared in the late 1940s in a series of magazines, but curiously, there's no official documentation of the ship ever existing. No registration papers, no crew manifest, no proof it even set sail. So, was it all just an elaborate sea myth? A ghost story told over a few too many bottles of rum? Or, here's the tinfoil hat version, was the Ourang Medan part of a secret operation that went horribly wrong and the whole thing got covered up faster than you can say nothing to see here, folks? Whatever the truth might be, the legend of the Ourang Medan lingers. It's a tale that leaves us with more questions than answers. What really happened on board that ship? Why were the crew members frozen in terror? And why would anyone name a ship Ourang Medan, which translates roughly to Man from Medan? That sounds less like a ship and more like a 2 a.m. Tinder match you immediately regret swiping on. So, what do you think? Is the Ourang Medan just an elaborate campfire story that got way out of hand? Or is it possible that the seas are full of things humanity isn't meant to understand? So, next time you're near the ocean, take a moment to look out over the waves and ask yourself, what's out there that we don't know about? And more importantly, do you really want to know? Well, stay curious, my friends, stay safe, and if you ever get a radio message that ends with, I die, well, maybe just don't answer. All right, that was our creepy story about the Ourang Medan, but now it's the purpose of this whole episode, the word power episode. Let's learn some vocabulary in context. One of the interesting words we came across today was ill-fated. When I described the SS Ourang Medan, I said it was an ill-fated ship. Now, you might already sense the doom in that word. If something is ill-fated, it's bound to end badly. Think of a blind date that starts with, I forgot my wallet, or a camping trip where you don't check the weather first. It's like saying something is cursed from the start. You could use it casually, of course. You could say, our attempt to cook dinner without a recipe was ill-fated. Now, it doesn't always have to be about ghost ships and horror stories. Well, that was ill-fated. Now, another key word is distress call. In the story, the ship sent out a distress call before things went terribly wrong. The term refers to a message sent when someone is in serious trouble and needs help immediately. Think of it as a nautical version of yelling help. But it isn't just limited to ships. Planes and even people can send a distress call. For example, if you've ever texted your friend at 2 a.m. with, "Are you awake?" Yep, that's a modern distress call. Now, we also talked about the ship drifting at sea. Now, to drift means to move without any control, like when you let a paper boat float down a river or when your mind starts drifting during a boring Zoom meeting. It implies that something is moving aimlessly, without direction. In real life, you can say, for example, I kind of drifted through my Saturday without getting anything done. And we've all been there, haven't we? So that was about drifted. Then we have another one, there's sprawled out, which I used to describe how the crew was found on the ship. If someone is sprawled out, it means they're lying down with their arms and legs spread in all directions. I know, it's scary, but it is something that we need to learn about. Well, picture how you collapse on the couch after a long day. Legs dangling off one side, arms over your head, sprawled out, totally done. Well, it's also common to say, I sprawled out on the bed and fell asleep instantly. So it's not just about ghost stories, okay? It can happen in real life as well. So that was sprawled out, my friends. And finally, we have one more. Let's not forget the phrase, to get the heck out. Now, when the rescue crew saw smoke pouring from the ship, they got the heck out. This phrase is a casual way of saying to leave somewhere fast, usually because something bad, or at least awkward, is about to happen. It's like when you walk into the wrong classroom and realize, nope, not my lecture. So you get the heck out before anyone notices. So these words and phrases, my friends, aren't just useful for talking about spooky ship stories. They pop up in everyday conversation. Saying something was ill-fated, recognizing a distress call, noticing how you're drifting through a lazy afternoon or sprawling out after a long day, these are all ways we express ourselves naturally. And of course, knowing when to get the heck out is a life skill. Use it wisely, but use it, and use it often, because sometimes it can save your life. Now, before I leave you, I have a couple of questions for you. Do you think some events are really ill-fated, or is it just bad luck? And what's the funniest or most memorable situation where you knew you had to get the heck out? Well, I'd love to hear your thoughts, and you know where you can share your thoughts, in the comment section. So let me know what you think. And with that, my friends, we come to the end of today's episode. I hope you enjoyed the story. I know it's a little bit frightening, a little bit creepy, but it is one of those mysteries that still linger till this day with no answers. Well, if you enjoyed today's episode, you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it with friends and family, with people you know might enjoy this content. And with that being said, I would like to thank you very much for sticking around till the end of this video. I really appreciate it. And don't forget, never stop learning with English Plus Podcast. I'll see you next time.